Hi, I'm Matt from Educraft.org, the instructor and curriculum developer for our Minecraft mod making camps. And as promised, I'm going to show you today how to do your armor textures. I'm not going to spend too much time on how to do the textures for what your armor looks like when it's in your inventory, because that's just like every other item. But when it actually appears on your body in the game is really what we'll be focusing on today. So here we go. So just like with every other item, when you give your armor textures for when it appears in your inventory and not on your body, you create a 16 by 16 image. You name that image after its unlocalized name and put it in the proper directory, in your textures directory, texture items. And then you make a JSON file, and you can copy any old JSON that's an item JSON and just rename it to the name of your texture file. And then you're pretty much good to go. So I'll just show you what I did in my code for some armor that I already made. Okay, so you'll see that I have these things in my resources. You go to your mod name, the assets dot, your mod name, then I go to textures and items, and I've already made some armor in a previous time that's named, it's a material that I called material that you may have seen in my code while I was creating an Unobtainium. So I don't want to bore you by showing you how to do, pretending that you don't pay attention and you don't remember how to do anything. So I am going to just assume that you remember. You make a 16 by 16 texture using Pixlr, and you can design your own picture of boots, of a chest plate, of a helmet, and of leggings. And then you're going to, in models, item, do an item material boots, and you name it. You name your texture after your unregistered or unlocalized name, and your JSON after your registry name. And just like everything else, it's the same item JSON file, except you want to change that to the name of your texture file, so that that gets associated properly with the JSON file, and then those should appear in the game. What's interesting, you'll notice in resources, is that there's another thing, textures, down here called models.armor. And if you open that, that's got some interesting features. So I had my own armor, and they look funny. So I'm going to show you what the picture looks like. Going into my stuff. My mod textures. Models armor. And this is what it looks like. If I can zoom in more, there we go. Pretty bizarre stuff. Okay, so you can kind of see that there's a helmet thing right here. You've got your chest plate, and you've got boots. And then the other one covers your leggings. And you'll notice that one is the name of the name I gave my armor, and then underscore layer underscore 1.png. And the other is the name I gave my armor, underscore layer underscore 2.png, which is one of the reasons why you did it. Where is it? There it is, mod items, which is one of the reasons why you had to do that with your armor and put the 1 and the 2. It's the layer number that it grabs and wraps the texture in. So we have our item name is so my material armor that I made was called armor material name. These we'll call unobtainium armor. So it gets all the information from the material itself. So it's not like you're making a separate texture for your legs, for your head, whatever. It actually just looks at those two files that you have to kind of figure out in order to make your armor. So if you did one of our camps, you took home one of these flash drives with some nifty files on it, and Otherwise, you can download all the contents from this drive from our website, educraft.org, which I'll show you how to do next. So I'm going to take my flash drive, I'm going to plug it into my computer. To be honest, it probably helps to take all the files and put them on your hard drive and not just leave them on your flash drive, but maybe you did, maybe you didn't. Anyway, you've got this file off your flash drive in the mod help folder. I'll show you where to find it. Here we go. So if you open up your flash drive, you'll see all these files that I put in here for you. And what you can do is you go to mod help, and you see it says texture layer 1 and texture layer 2. So here's what you're going to want to do. First of all, you're going to want to get these things on your computer. You don't want to mess around with photo editing on a flash drive. So I'm going to take these textures, I'm going to copy them, and I'm going to paste them onto my desktop. And here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to replace the word texture with the name that I gave my armor. So I called it Unobtainium Armor with a capital A. So this will be texture, instead of texture, it'll say Unobtainium Armor layer 1. Keep the underscores in there too. So keep it as a PNG, and this will be, instead of texture, Unobtainium Armor layer 2. Now if you either didn't take our camp or you lost your flash drive, that's okay. You can go to our website, educraft.org, and once there you see this tab that says Minecraft Modding Help. If you click on that, you go to click to download, and you can download a zip file that contains those two images. So you just download it from our website. And hey, look at that good looking guy. We got our tutorials up here too on our website. Pretty fancy stuff, huh? Alright, so in the meantime, we're going to go to Pixlr, P-I-X-L-R. I usually just Google it and then click on it. It's pixlr.com. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to, from Pixlr, and remember you scroll down, go to Pixlr Editor, not the Express, launch the web app, and I'm going to open image from computer, and from the desktop I'm going to grab the armor file, layer 1, and I am going to zoom in there. And so what I do now is I'll click on the paintbrush. Remember, you set the brush to 1 and you go to hard tip, and I'm going to start messing with the images. So I know that that's kind of the helmet, and then I've got like a chest plate right here, and then the leggings. Basically this is sort of like a unfolded version of the armor. Imagine the armor as like one of those cardboard boxes that you sort of fold into a sculpture, and this is what it looks like when it's unfolded, and you just kind of imagine it getting folded up around the player. And that might help. So I'm going to practice some stuff. I'm going to make this armor white. So it's going to be kind of stupid looking. Okay, so I'll just use the bucket. You want to turn off anti-alias. That it actually helps to not have anti-alias for this purpose. And I'm going to make the armor base in white, and I'm going to use some grays to kind of outline bits of it. So we got the helmet here. I'm going to add like a little sort of shading thing. See if that works. No, I think I made a mistake there. Alright, so I'll keep that up for a bit. Alright, so now I finished doing the armor. I added some shading, did a little bit of guesswork to kind of guess what is what and give it a cool kind of outline, 3D sort of look. And I decided to add some blood splatter effects from my slain enemies. So I've got that set up with the boots, chest, and head parts of the armor. You're basically going to do the same thing with the other PNG file. So for this I will go to save. Look at that, it's already set up for me. The file name, Unobtainium Armor with a capital A, because that's what I said it was in the file. Underscore layer underscore 1, and it's a PNG file. And I click OK and save it to my desktop, and yeah, I want to replace it. And so you're going to do the same thing with the next with your other file name. So go to File, go to Open Image, and find where you put layer 2, and click on Open, and zoom in, and we're just gonna do the same thing. So no need to dwell on it. And I've got another set of armor with more blood effects. Ha ha ha. Do the same thing. File save. It's already named. I already named the file, so it's already good, and it's a PNG. I click OK, save, and yes, I want to replace. So we've got that going, which is nice. All right, and now, like we do with a lot of texture files, you've got your Eclipse, and one of the nice things is you can usually grab files from your computer to Eclipse. So just one more thing, if you don't have this models.armor package, what you can do is you can see this goes under textures. If you right click on textures, you go to new and you go to package, and you'll see the full name of the textures. It has to be the full name here, and then you'll type .models.armor, and then you'll click on finish. Mine won't finish because the package already exists. So if you don't have this right here, that's the step that you take to make sure you do have it. You create that new package. And I'm going to highlight both of these things, and I'm going to drag them in to models.armor and copy the files. Armor material text, armor material text for our reference ID. And so I'm pretty confident that I should actually see these in the game. And so I'm so confident I'm just going to run it right now. So before we test this, I found one more reason I'm dumb. Notice that my unobtainium armor, the reference ID or the reference for the texture is unobtainium armor text, not just unobtainium armor. So I have to either change this or I have to change this. And I'm going to change the file names just because for the consistency, because my armor material has text in it. So I'm going to right click, go to rename unobtainium armor text underscore layer underscore 1.png, and right click, rename unobtainium armor text underscore layer underscore 2.png. And now I should be able to run the game and see my player wearing my armor in the game. All right, and there I am. Look at that gross bloody armor. Oh, so disgusting. Now you'll notice I didn't actually create textures for these other things. And so I created the armor texture for wearing it, but I didn't do the item textures, because you all know how to do that. And I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna insult you by repeating myself. But look at how cool I am. Just I'm gonna get an F5. Look, oh man, just gonna kill everybody. Yeah. All right. Hey, look at that new ore too. I created that ore to generate with the world. This is my new material ore. And that's what my next tutorial is going to be, how to create your own ore that spawns with the world when you create a new one. Alright, so now your armor is looking pretty, and you can really deck yourself out in some sweet threads. And so now we're going to get into populating the game with ore blocks that you can mine and then smelt into ingots and then use to create your unobtainium or whatever material tools and armor. So next time we're going to get into how to create an ore block, a block that basically drops itself after you break it, and we'll go with that.